new baby boy is here. He's had 2 daughters for a long time, and along came baby Kit. And for Graham Rahal, he's awaiting the birth of his first child.
Dixon cannot leave this big gap. If Sato gets to Townsend those 3 cars and is able to time it right, he'll have a buffer. That's too big of a gap to leave.
And none of those 3 cars need to pit. That's Chilton, Kanaan, Kimball, all battling on the lead lap for position in this race. So there will be no help for Sato. It's coming in about a lap.
Clear by 8, no pressure.
2:20 the last lap, 0.4 this lap. 221.5 for Sato to a 220.3 for Dixon.
So he's pulling away. He's gapped him by about a second now. Well, but he's picked up the draft from the traffic. It's about to get a lot more difficult for Takuma Sato. He's got a lot of laps on the tires. He's had clean air, but you can throw that out the window. He's going to have to fight for this win. Kanaan, Tony Kanaan, Ed Carpenter, and Charlie Kimball are the 3 up ahead. There they are.
He's got a wicked fast car. He's just got to time this right. And if he times it and he's got a buffer of cars, it could be game over with coming to 8 to go.
These double points here at the Indianapolis 500 are going to help him tremendously in the bigger picture view of the championship, because he comes in well outside the top 10. It'll vault him well inside the top 10.
It's a big gap, Townsend.
Dixon's really sliding around, just hanging on, trying to figure out how to advance. Now watch Sato's lap time here. He's going to be way slower this lap.
Last laps for this group was 2:14, so they're running about 6 miles an hour slower than the leader, and now he's got checked up, Lee.
Last lap for Sato, 2:18.8 as they come across the yard of bricks. 7 to go, and he's got to make a move. He's got to try and clear this traffic. Not happening. Sato just did a 2:17. Here comes Dixon. Here comes Graham Rahal.
2:17 for Dixon, so he didn't close any, but now he's stuck here. The handling is going to change. Can he make the pass? Does he have a car balanced enough in the draft? It's one thing to lead and have clear road, big dust from the oil dry, but nowhere to go, Townsend.
And look in the background, not only is Dixon looking forward at Sato, Rahal has suddenly arrived on the back of that PNC Bank Honda. There's Graham and Santino Ferrucci. Guys, we're going to have a 4 or 5 car battle for the win.
These guys do not want to finish a lap down. They are fighting. Kimball passes his teammate into turn 1. Still nowhere for Sato to go.
So Carpenter has cleared out.
Oh, the gap just closed big.
Sato has to make this move. He's got to get by Tony Kanaan, otherwise he's going to have company. Here he goes.
Inside.
Huge break for Sato to get a car between himself and Scott Dixon. Now, Rahal and Ferrucci all over the back of Scott Dixon.
Tony Kanaan has tremendous respect for his ex-teammate. I will suspect that he will let him go by on the front straightaway here.
Dixon looking to clear Kanaan. Doesn't happen fast enough for Scott's liking. Not just yet. Dixon to the inside. Rahal will follow as well. Ferrucci not close enough to get through on that same opening. Now look at the gap. Look at the gap Dixon needs to make up. That little break that Sato got was a huge amount of breathing room.
It's a 1 second gap now between the two, but the laps are not quick. 2:10 on that last lap for Dixon, 2:13 for Sato, and he's built a big gap.
But Charlie Kimball is still in front of Sato, circulating much slower.
Big crash into the attenuator.
No. That's right, hitting that Spencer Piggott.
This is going to cause a red flag for sure, because they're going to want to finish this under green.
Right at the pit attenuator, right on the very
end.
Big crash.
Oh boy. Trauma. Huge trauma.
Spencer's now raising the visor. That signifies that he's alert and awake, and it's a sign to race control and the AMR safety team.
Coming off turn 4, these speeds at the end of the race, these Rahal cars have been running 220 mile-an-hour laps, and look at the end of the pit wall. It looks as though he lost it coming off the corner. You see the skid marks, and he hit the tire attenuator. And
oh boy, that is a huge impact. What a relief to see Spencer moving inside the cockpit. I mean,
it's 4 laps now. If they don't red flag, then it's over. Sato will win this, but Wow. I would be very surprised if they don't red flag it and have a shootout, a 3-lapper.
26-year-old Floridian, gingerly out of his Hy-Vee Honda. Oh boy. Well, his two teammates from Rahal, Letterman, Lanigan, this is the Citroen Buell Autosport side of the team, are vying for the win. This talented youngster ends his race in spectacular style and certainly not
already way loose, loses it, brushes the wall, not super hard, and then it just hooks itself, and that's the worst case scenario right there.
He's going over 100 miles an hour and comes to effectively a full stop. Listen here.
Oh. And that is why we have this new safer screen, because I really believe, Townsend, that just saved his life. Those tires, if those tires would have come over the top of the car and hit him in the head, yeah, who knows what would have happened.
So he gets to see the target, and then he knows that he's in for a wallop of a hit. I've been in that situation before, Paul, and you have too. You simply, I mean, all the wind's knocked out of you.
Yeah, the guy, perfect case, a guy that knows that well as an ex-IndyCar driver, Mark Dismore, hit the end of the pit wall, and it split the car in half and went down the pit lane, and that was just wild. But this new safer windscreen, the aero screen, has just done unbelievable things for the safety of these drivers. Look at this.
And look, earlier, Oliver Askew, who crashed just a little further back up the track, he paid testament to Dallara, the manufacturer of these Indy cars, along with the new aero screen and work with Red Bull Technologies. It speaks to the robust nature and the safety cell that the drivers sit in, because that car hit dead center and ricocheted ferociously off the other side as the AMR safety team just attend to Spencer Piggott, who got from the car. You see Spencer moving his hands and arms. They're speaking with the AMR safety team, but that was a monstrous impact. So while they look after Spencer, we will step away just for a moment. We'll be back to finish off this Indianapolis 500. As you rejoin us, I can tell you that this race will not be red flagged, and it will finish under yellow, with Takuma Sato winning his second Indianapolis 500 for Rahal, Letterman, Lanigan Racing. His other win was for Michael Andretti. This one for Bobby Rahal, Mike Lanigan, and David Letterman. And there is the 1986 winner, Bobby Rahal on the right. Delighted. It wasn't his son, but it was one of his drivers. And Taku has done it for the second time in 3 years.
Townsend, it's the wild thing no more. He was super cool Sato today. We got to come up with a new nickname, because he played his cards perfect today.
He's a recovered wild man. Sato, so measured, especially when he caught the traffic. He waited for his moment with Tony Kanaan. And Marty, we're looking at a two-time winner coming for the last lap and a half here.
Yeah, and just imagine being Scott Dixon after leading 111 laps today. This will be his third second-place finish in the Indianapolis 500. All three of them came under caution. He told me earlier this week, those are the worst. You can see it, you can touch it, you can taste the wind, and you can't go race for it. I cannot stand it when it finishes under caution, but that's the rule. So Scott Dixon looks like he will finish second in the Indianapolis 500 after leading 111 laps for the third time under caution.
Dixon, the dominant car today, but Sato was there with him all day. He was never worse than top 5 and was there all the time, but just waited for the right moment and got ahead of Dixon and never looked back.
I'll go back to that restart where Sato decided to go after it early, and I don't think that it was a foregone conclusion that Dixon would be able to get back by. He seemed to really struggle.
Everything's good. Just keep doing what you're doing.
They still have to coach him home for one lap for Sato, but I think the decision to go early and make his move was the winning decision. I'm not sure Dixon could have gotten back by.
The speeds were too high. They had ramped it up to 220s and 21s, and
Here's David Letterman.
There's the boss.
He's thrilled. That's the team's first win since our mate Buddy Rice won all the way back in 2004. Here is the move, and it wasn't for the lead of the race ultimately. It was for the win. And it wasn't just that move, Paul. It was the block. Well, I shouldn't say block. It was the defensive driving that Sato displayed. The lessons he learned by watching Pagano do the same thing last year. And he did that for a few laps, and that took the advantage off Dixon's tires to respond.
There was nothing, though, that was out of line. He just was driving the line that he needed to when Dixon was pursuing and had a chance to challenge. But ultimately, when it came down into the final 10 laps, Sato had a faster car and started to pull away.
This 43-year-old, now two-time winner from Japan, there will be thousands, and I mean thousands of kids cheering for him in Japan. The reason why 6 years ago Taku started a thing with you Japan, the Kids Kart Challenge, and he just wanted kids to help them achieve their dreams. And he did so much in the tsunami relief as well. This guy has done so much. He was the toast of Japan when he was a Formula One driver. He's been now in IndyCar longer than he was in Formula One.
Check the flag, buddy.
And this is a really special moment. Really special moment, and the way that he had to fight.
Yeah, let's bring this thing home, man.
Let's bring it home, and he is... Takuma Sato is a two-time winner of the Indianapolis 500 for Rahal Letterman Lanigan Racing. Sato, Dixon, and Rahal.
But you are the man. You drove the wheels off that thing today. Awesome job.
No shortage of drama, even though we didn't have fans. What a race today.
Spotters, everybody. Great day. Woo! Yeah!
Kevin?
Well, Bob Rahal won this race in 1986 as a driver. Now you've won it twice as a car owner. How did Takuma hold off Scott Dixon?
Well, I mean, Takuma ran hard all day long, you know, and you know, in the end, I was really worried that once we ran up against that traffic, that, you know, they'd kind of haul things up. And Takuma got through it pretty good. Dixon and Graham got through it pretty good, but I think Takuma got through it just enough, had just enough of a gap that was all it took. And then, of course, the accident, that who knows what would have happened those last 5 laps. But I know Graham was giving it everything he had and had a really good race. And, of course, for Takuma, yeah, two-time winner in the Indy 500. That's pretty cool.
And first and third. Your son finishes third.
Well, you know, we worked hard since last year's Indy 500. Really proud of the team. They, you know, we qualified well as a group, and of course the race pace was quite good. And you know, it's just tough to pass. And you know, when Graham got up to Dixon, it was close, but just not quite enough. And Dixon couldn't quite get it to Takuma. So there it was. But a great. Obviously, we feel very, very happy.
Congratulations, Bobby Rahal, Mike Lanigan, David Letterman winners, and Takuma Sato is now a 2-time winner of the Indianapolis 500.
Oh, the screams of joy and the celebrations in the Takuma Sato camp at Rahal Letterman Lanigan Racing. In that people-ready Honda. It's just starting to sink in. And he is now a 2-time Indianapolis 500 winner. Steve Fusik there, his manager, Bobby Rahal in, all helping the diminutive Japanese driver out of the car. Oh boy. First front row start at the 500, and he converts it to a victory. This checkered flag moment is brought to you by Advanced Auto Parts. And he's the first, as far as the 500 is concerned, to go up that lift. It has happened, of course, when we were here for the doubleheader weekend. IndyCar and NASCAR for the very first time at the Brickyard earlier this year in July. That's quite the ride. It's one of many improvements from the captain, Roger Penske, since acquiring the Speedway earlier this year. Some $15 million worth of improvements, and it is noticeable. And Roger is right down there on the spot. He's looking up, he's watching.
The wheeling Takuma Sato into victory lane. I love that Bob Rahal wanted to ride up on the left. Enjoy the moment, right? Taku, now a two-time Indy 500 winner, and you can see him in the car just kind of looking to the sky, savoring the moment, almost praying, if you will. You don't get to do this very often in your career, and Taku certainly taking this one in. You know, it's 6:45 a.m. Monday morning in Japan, but I have a feeling there's a party going on in Tokyo as Takuma kind of enjoys this moment. Takuma, you can climb out if you want. Takuma Sato, the 2020 winner of the Indianapolis 500. One-legged stand. The winner's wreath from Borg Warner. We'll bring in the milk as well from the Indiana dairy farmers. 2% for Takuma was the choice today. Gonna hop off, and here comes the milk, everyone.
It's so weird.
And then from Jostens, the winner's ring as well. Such tradition here in Indianapolis. And a hug.
Cover your nose.
Takuma showing off all the wares from Indianapolis. And a big smile on his face. Let's go over and grab a word with him. He wants to go celebrate with the crew.
Yeah.
Ricardo Nault with a hug. And a hug for the crew members who were blessed enough to be up here. David Letterman right behind you as well. You might as well go hug the other boss.
God bless you, my friend. Thank you very much. Thank you. Hell of a job. Hell of a job. Hell of a job. Well done. Thank you.
And then finally, Bob Rahal. We'll certainly let that one happen, Nate. Taku, how big's the party in Japan right now?
This is unbelievable. Thank you so much. I can't find the word. Can't find the word.
How did you hold Scott Dixon back, Taku, who had the best car all day long?
Yes, we did. I think we did. And obviously we lapped short from Dixie. And we knew in terms of the fuel strategy was a little tight. I couldn't use the max power, so I had to switch back and forth. I know Scott was coming right through out to turn 4. He's screaming coming, and
Yeah.
I was just held off. So thank you so much.
At 43, you told me Friday, I'm not slowing down. I'm better than I've ever been. What kind of statement is it to come out and win the Indy 500 and pass the guy who led the most laps today?
This is unbelievable. Entire Rahal Letterman team, Panasonic people already, Honda did a hell of a job. HPD, Honda, give us a lot of power, a lot of fuel mileage. And the Saudi boys, and Eddie, you know, my engineer,
Yeah.
family, and sacrifice a lot. But you know, here Steven too, it's my American family, should be happy with that. And Bobby, you know, Mike Lanningham, David Letterman. Oh, I can't thank enough for all the people.
You're holding the Japanese flag. In 2017, you said it was all for your country. How much of this is for your people in Japan?
Well, it's great. Obviously, worldwide, and this is a mega sport. I'm really proud of part of winners again, but especially for Japan. Sacrificed a lot of rain after earthquake in 2011, and still today is a lot of raining and earthquake. So I hope this gives a little boost for the energy, and thank you for a lot of support.
There you go. Takuma Sato in victory lane for the second time at Indianapolis, Kelly.
Well, Scott Dixon led 111 laps, and Scott, unfortunately for you, they just weren't the last